Hello and welcome, everyone. Today's guest on the Angel Channel is Antonella Cortese. Did I say that right?
Yes, you're right.
Oh, wow.
Perfect.
Actually, it means courteous, it meens kind.
Yes,
Lovely
it's
name.
right.
That's so lovely. And you are in Italy, in the north of
Yeah.
Italy,
Yes.
and you got a question about being a mom, being a loving mother.
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much for this precious moment, dear Victoria. I'm really happy to talk to you. And I must say, I'm sorry because my English is not native. I'm from Italy. So I
Good.
hope that anyway, I will do my best.
I think your English is very good.
Thank you. You are kind. Okay. My question is about love between mother and son.
Mhm.
And shortly, that's my experience. I have a son. He's 20-year-old, and he lives in Milan with his girlfriend, who is really nice, and he works there. And the most important thing that is that he's good and happy. And I'm happy. I'm really happy for him. And moreover, I know that that's life. Our children grow up and become men and women.
Mhm.
That's life. But on the other hand, a mom is always a mom. And sometimes I feel a sort of sadness in my heart because he's far from me.
Mhm.
And in this period, due to the pandemic, sometimes I miss him so much because it's not possible to travel, and I've been without meeting him for ages because of the lockdown. And I know also many other mothers, my friends, for example, who feel the same way.
Mhm.
So the question to the angels is how a mom can cope with this kind of sort of sadness, and with these feelings, and what we can do to accept this separation and live in a more positive way.
Yes. Wonderful question. And
Thank you.
I think it might even apply to fathers, possibly as well.
Yeah,
I imagine being a father, you could still really, really miss
yeah,
the child, miss the child.
yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to just tune in and ask them to start speaking. So it shouldn't take too long. Thank you.
Thank you.
Greetings to you, Antonella, and to all of you who are watching. And yes, we love your question. It is a beautiful question. And love is such a complicated subject. It is so, there are so many different ways for human beings to feel love and to express love and to connect with each other. And of course, for many of you, there is tremendous sadness because you have deep love, deep connection, deep attachment, and it is so beautiful when a child is young and you can be very affectionate with a small child, and possibly when the child gets a little bit older, they're not so interested in, in being held in your arms
Yes,
and cuddled. and perhaps not so interested in the affection. And even they become quite independent and they want to have their own friends and their own lives, and they may wish to travel. And so this sense of loss can be very, very, very extreme. And it is important, we feel, to thank you for asking the question on behalf of everyone who feels this loss, because most of you do not like to admit that you
Yeah,
feel it. It feels perhaps slightly shameful that you should not just be perhaps unconditionally happy for your children and wish them to do whatever they feel like doing, regardless of how you feel. But obviously, the reality is that it is a two-way street, and that you have become accustomed, as is natural, to this bond and this closeness and this affection. And if you did not have this, the child would not have felt so secure and so safe and so loved and so nurtured. So you have to be commended and you have to be thanked and you have to be appreciated for having had this bond and for having created this nurturing environment. It is most important for the child. It cannot be underestimated. This sense of safety, this sense of security, this sense of being important, really also. The child feels at times that you even have no eyes for anybody else, that you are like, it is the center of your world. And it is such a beautiful feeling for this, for your child to have had this, because he is safe. He can go out into the world knowing that he has a rock,
yes,
he has a foundation that is solid. He is, yes, he's very, very confident. In particular, your child, but we speak, of course, of not just your child, but children in general who are given this foundation. They feel a tremendous amount of courage, and courage comes from the heart. And because the heart has been so nurtured, they have this sense of expansiveness and bravery, and they are confident and they can go out and explore the world with a sense that there is nothing to fear, because they feel held, they feel looked after, and they feel that you are always there. You're always there for them, no matter what happens. And it is a similar thing, it is a similar feeling and a similar experience to the one that you, as a human being, can have with your own divinity. So we see this in people who have had children grow up and leave home, that quite often they feel this is the moment to explore their own connection to that mother that lives inside them and who they are a part of. So it is like the divine mother, the divine nurturer, the divine feminine, whatever you like to call it. But it is this sort of being, being of energy, being of light, who you are. Ultimately, it is ultimately how you are as the bigger you, who looks at you with the same eyes that you look at your child. So this being, this you, this Antonella, the goddess, the divine goddess, she looks at you with so much love and so much devotion and so much appreciation for every single tiny little thing that you achieve, and even every single tiny little thing that you fail to achieve. For it is that unconditional rapture that you feel for your child is being felt for you. And in turn, the beings who are even watching over you, so the angelic beings and the guides, they feel the same way. So look at you with the same amount of love and the same devotion and the same desire for your perfect happiness. And this is how we see you and feel about you. But we have an ability to feel complete without needing you to notice us. So this is the only difference, is that it is not necessary for you to pay us any attention or to be in our vicinity, because we just are in your vicinity and we are so connected to you. And you are now embarking on a journey of feeling this connection to yourself in such a way that there is in there, because it is, there is no room for any insecurity, no room for anything except this totally complete percent love of which you speak for your child. So this is available for you now. And if you are willing to explore it, to explore this connection, you will be so surprised at how full you can feel, full of love, so held, so safe, so divine, so courageous, and so exuberant even, that your children, not just your children, but all of you who are doing this, will begin to look at you with new eyes, and they'll feel your radiance, and they'll be so pleased because they will see that you have this joy, this love of life, this energy, this vibrancy, and this excitement and passion. And they will be so happy, not just because they're happy for you, but also because they will think to themselves, when I get older, I may also feel this way. So it is something to look forward to, because they're perhaps in a different phase of life, and they're in a phase of perhaps exploring more career
Yeah.
path, or they're exploring, perhaps they're having their own relationships and their own children and all these other things. But to feel that this slightly not much older age is something to look forward to is a really beautiful thing. So as you become more joyful, more radiant, more fulfilled, more excited about your life, and more complete in yourself, you exude this sense of joy and confidence that can be transmitted to everyone, not just to your family, but to everyone who meets you in any way. So even if you meet someone in a shop, they can feel this from you. Wow, this is a beautiful energy. It's very uplifting. It's very, very, yes, it makes everyone else feel very, very good to be around. And we sense that you have already embarked on this journey. You've already started to make these connections with yourself, to devote a little bit more time to your meditation practice, to connecting with yourself, tuning into angels, and exploring the spiritual side of you. And we do not find any fault with what you're doing. We feel that you are completely on your track and you're being guided, and your essence is already uh, full of this light, this vibrant, beautiful energy. So it is only really a transition that you're experiencing. So you're transitioning from having had in the past these thoughts that there is something missing, but now the mind is beginning to adjust and beginning to realize, no, there's nothing missing. There's something actually much, much, much bigger, which I'm now feeling and experiencing and exploring.
Okay. Thanks.
Hope this has been helpful.
Yes, I think yes. And I could say that honestly, when my son meets me and he sees that I'm happy is happy too. And so it's right. This is right, I think. And if I am happy, we can stay together in a more important way. And if I am sad, he feels this sadness, and he suffers from this sadness. And so, yes, I think that all your beautiful words are really correct and helpful. Really, thanks.
Thank you so much for asking.
Thank you so much to you. Thank you for everything. Have a great time and stay safe.
You too. Ciao.
A kiss
Ciao.
from Italy. Ciao.
Ciao.
Ciao, Victoria. Ciao.